Companies' house fees are changing from February 2026. Here is everything that you need to know. From 1st of February 2026, the cost of many filings at Companies' House will increase. This affects all limited companies, whether they are large or small, trading or dormant. The individual increases may look modest, but they will become part of your regular annual business costs, so it's important to understand what's changing and how to prepare. At GHOC Accounting, we want to make sure you're not caught out by unexpected fees or poor timing. Why are the fees going up, I hear you ask? In short, it's because of the new powers given by the Economic Crime and Corporate Transparency Act 2023, which requires Companies' House to improve the accuracy of company records, reduce frauds of companies, and carry out more checks behind the scenes. The extra fees help to pay for these improvements, and unfortunately, the burden is passed on to owners and operators of limited companies. So let's get started with the top changes that you need to become aware of. Starting a new limited company will cost more. If you set up a new company online, the fee will increase from £50 to £100. This will affect you if you're planning a new business, setting up a new separate company for a new project, or creating an SPV or a property company. Your annual confirmation statement will also cost more. Every limited company must file a confirmation statement once a year. Digital filing increases from £34 to £50. This applies even if your company is dormant. This is now a higher fixed annual cost for every company you own, so it's good to be aware of the implication based on the number of companies that you own. If you still submit documents on paper, the fees have gone up significantly to discourage paper filings. Where paper filing is offered alongside digital filing will almost always be the cheaper option going forward. If you're not sure whether your filings are done digitally, get in touch and we can check this for you. Closing a company will now become cheaper. If you have a company you no longer need, the cost of voluntarily closing it online will reduce to £13. This is good for you if you have companies or dormant companies that you don't require anymore, or you have companies that you set up for projects that are now finished. Companies' House has a long list of services it provides, and I have included below a link to the full list of price changes. Not all of them will be relevant to small business owners, but they form part of the wider change, so it is good to be aware. That's the link on there, and you can click it in the show notes below to follow along on Companies' House. My motto is to focus on what you can control. Change is inevitable, and you can't control everything. So rather than wasting energy on what is beyond your reach, why not focus on where you can grow? So with that in mind, here is a recommended plan of the actions you can take to take advantage of the changes that Companies' House is introducing. First of all is make a list of all the companies you're involved in. Make a note of whether they are dormant or active. For the dormant ones, review and assess whether they are needed or whether they can be struck off. And for all of them, make a note of when the confirmation statement for each one of them is due. This exercise is especially important if you have more than one company and the dates are likely to be varied and can be easily missed. Secondly, my recommendation is to budget for slightly higher annual costs. From 2026, every company will cost a bit more to keep on the register, so it's best to allow for this in your annual budget to make sure that it doesn't come as a surprise. Third is to think carefully about timing. If you're planning to start a company in early 2026, it might be worth doing so before 1st of February to take advantage of the currently reduced lower setting up costs. And if you're planning to close a company, it might be cheaper to do so after the changes. We can help you decide what timing makes sense based on the plans you have for your business. Fourthly is make sure everything is filed digitally. Digital filings are cheaper, quicker, and less risky than paper filings. If you're not sure how your filings are currently done, we can check this for you so that you know your next steps. Fifth is combine this with other compliance changes. There are other changes that are coming in at the same time, such as the identity checks for directors and persons of significant control. Handling everything together will save you time, will reduce your admin costs, and will reduce the risks of mistakes or penalties. And finally, build these costs into your pricing. If you're a business owner providing services to other people, or you're a landlord, or potentially launching multiple companies, it's sensible for you to factor in these additional costs into your proposals, into your quotes, and into your budgets so that you don't end up out of pocket. GHawk Accounting can help. Please get in touch if you would like us to review your company structure, to advise on timing for setting up your new companies or closing your existing companies which are not required, and to help you make sure that your filings are efficient and compliant. We're here to help you stay organized and in control. These changes by themselves are not dramatic, but they add up easily, especially if you have multiple companies. And with a bit of forward planning, the impact can be managed easily and cost effectively. That is how we'll be able to help you. Send us a message via our website, which is ghawkaccounting.co.uk/contact. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to join our community and get notified of our next video. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.